this is some of what's happening in America. I wrote an article that's live today on witches everywhere. All right. And I stated at the beginning of this article that if you told me 20 years ago that I'd write 3 major books on LGBT themes along with several hundred articles, I would have been quite surprised, to say the least. But if you told me just 1 year ago that I'd be writing an increasing number of articles on the subject of witchcraft, not to mention including it as a major theme in a book, I would have been equally surprised. Witches? Witchcraft, it's not to say that I don't recognize demonic warfare, spiritual warfare, Satan's presence, but it's to say, to focus on it this much, to write on it this much, to emphasize it this much. Really? So my book, Jezebel's War with America, I connect the dots of a lot of what's happening in the world around us. From the rise of, I'm speaking specifically in America, the rise of idolatry in America, the rise of sexual immorality, especially through pornography, the rise of radical feminism, the rise of the militant pro-abortion movement, the war on gender, the emasculating of men, the silencing of the prophets through fear. This is all Jezebel, meaning the same demonic forces that operated through Jezebel are operating again today. And the rise of witches is one of these things that say, yeah, radical feminism, witchcraft, these things tie in. Let me just refer to a few headlines. I cite these in the article, all right? But let me just point these out. Some of the headlines I referred to in this article, just from the last few days or all within the last month. For example, June 24th story in the National Catholic Register. The witches are back. Begins with this: witchcraft in its modern feminist occult packaging seems to be a misguided response to the profound questions that dog our age. It's the wrong answer to the right question. July 3rd, Daily Beast. Sidney Loof murder suspect acted as daddy vampire at a cult of witches, according to a witness. June 6th, op-ed piece in the New York Times. Here's what being a witch really means. And then it explains that witch is one of the words that self-described witch now uses to describe herself, but its meaning varies depending on context. At any given time, it can signify that I'm a feminist, someone who celebrates freedom for all who fight against injustice, et cetera, et cetera. All right. And she uses her magic for her purposes. July 2nd story, AFP. French designer Julian Fournier hailed witches as proto-feminist trailblazers who send shivers through the patriarchy. June 18th headline, Los Angeles Times. Witches at work. These women just want you to be your best self. And this witch says half my business is being on Instagram. Witches arising everywhere in the culture, and the media celebrating the rise of witches. Friends, this is the spirit of Jezebel. Let's open our eyes. God wants to wake up America to this reality.